Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. In our last video, we tackled the mission Silence the Sneak. Up next is the next Ray mission. It's called Arms Shortage. And instead of starting it right now, I got to show off some stuff before we begin. Passing this mission gives the player 10,000 bucks and unlocks the next Ray mission, which is called Evidence Dash. It also gives you the ability to buy 3 specific weapons at Phil's army surplus, including the M16 and the rockets, both of which are overpowered. So this mission is pretty straightforward. We just have to protect a guy, Phil, and kill about a dozen Colombians. And when I speedrun this game, it takes me about 2 minutes to complete the mission. But this video is about 25 minutes long, and it's because there's a lot going on in this mission in terms of this series. So there's a unique vehicle, and I need to make room in our garage for another unique vehicle, which is why we're using the uniquely colored black FBI Rumpo in this mission. This will be the last time we see this black Rumpo. There's also in this video, we're going to see here, notice that the gates do not open for me in a vehicle or on foot. That's going to change after we complete this mission. In this mission, there's also the final vehicle required for the import-export crane. And also after we complete the mission, Phil's compound changes in a couple of different ways. And so lots to discuss. Okay, so there's going to be a tank sitting right here during this mission, but it's not here right now, and we're going to see some weapons for purchase at that other location. Not there right now. Again, the gate does not open for me until we pass the mission. This vehicle here is unlocked, and being in this army vehicle will allow me to open the gate. But I'm going to blow up this vehicle in just a moment here by shooting it until it catches fire. And so this is me just demonstrating that the general barracks OL that lives here at Phil's army compound is not bulletproof. And during this coming mission, we're going to see that the one sitting there, the barracks OL sitting there during the mission is bulletproof. Okay, so those are the things I wanted to show off over here at Phil's. And so now we're taking our last little drive in the uniquely colored black Rumpo. So enjoy it while it lasts. I really do think that the straight jet black vehicles, the special vehicles in this game, look really cool. So it's sad for me to say goodbye to the Rumpo. I mean, it handles like garbage. Like the color doesn't change the fact that the vehicle stinks as a vehicle, but I do like the color, and we're saying goodbye to our old friend, the Black Rumpo. And in fact, we're going to be saying goodbye to 3 of our old friends in this garage, just because we've got some big vehicles coming, and we need to make room. Okay, so long, old friend. It was nice knowing you. Okay, so the next vehicle we're going to steal from this garage is the Mañana that we got because it has a corpse in the trunk, and it's had a corpse in the trunk this entire time, so we're just going to show off the corpse. There it is. This will be the last time we're seeing this special Mañana. We're going to let go of this Mañana momentarily, just again trying to make room. And here we're about to start the mission for the first time, and I'm also trying to get a wanted level, and I'll just point out that having a wanted level doesn't have any impact on any phase of this mission. So there's our wanted level. Surely it's a good idea to get a wanted level when you have an exposed corpse in the trunk of your car. All right, so we're going to save here, and then we're going to start the mission and check out the cutscene. So again, this is a Ray mission, so we'll hear our old buddy Ray talking to us in the toilets. One thing I noticed about this cutscene is that like we can't see Ray's feet. He's going to be in one of these toilet stalls, and then we can't see his feet. I think we should be able to see them both before and after Ray talks to us. So he's in like one of these, I guess we shouldn't be able to see it here because of the angle, but anyway, he's like in the second stall from the end or something. And then at the end of his little speech here, we won't be able to see his feet below the stall door. So I think that's just an oversight from the programmers. I can't quite tell, like it looks like Ray is wearing his pants. Like I don't think he's actually using the bathroom. He's just sitting on the toilet. He's sort of a weird guy. Okay, but as you can see, his old buddy Phil has been having some trouble with the Colombians, and the Colombians promised to come baback today and steal some of Phil's weaponry, and we can't have that. So let's head over there and give Phil a hand or an arm. Okay, so again, last time using this Mañana with the corpse in it, and in our vanilla attempt, which is what this is, I will point out that the gate is going to be open the entire time. not just for us, but just for anybody. Like the gate will be open the whole time. Here I'm just trying to get some more wanted level just to illustrate that the wanted level doesn't matter. Officers, please, please. I saw a lot of secure cars as I was making the footage for this video. I'm so tempted to grab one or more of them and bring them over to that special garage over in Portland Docks. Okay, so here's the open gate, and then we'll hop in the blue marker and talk to Phil. There don't need to be any more of us, Phil. We are awesome at this game. We're going to take out the world. Okay, so there are lots of weapons available, freely available to grab to help you take out the Colombians. But in my speed run, which is what I'm showing you here, I just grabbed the 5 rockets on the top of this container, and I used the rockets exclusively to take out the Colombians. So we're going to have 3 cartel cruisers. So I take them out with 1 rocket each, typically. And then off to our left is going to be 2 Colombians spawn. And so after I shoot the 3rd cartel cruiser, I take out the 2 Colombians with a rocket. And that's it. And then you head over to Phil. And he references losing his arm in Nicaragua, which is just a straight up lie. So we'll talk about that later in this video. And then he offers us the opportunity to buy some of these weapons here. And that's pretty cool because 2 of those 3 are overpowered. So the weapons available for purchase in that trio from left to right is the M16 and the shotgun and the rockets. So the shotgun is nothing to us. We've got plenty of shotgun shells. They're easy enough to get. But the M16 and the rockets are awesome. And so when I speedrun this game, I actually sit here and I cycle through these weapons 5 complete times. It takes, like a good 45 seconds or something as a time loss, but I really like having the M16 and the rockets, and so 5 sets of them is all I need for the rest of the game when I speedrun. Okay, so next up is our next attempt at this mission. So we'll start the mission, and then we're going to head over to our safe house garage on the way to Phil's place at the far north. And the reason we're heading there is we still need to make more room in our garage, even though we have lost 2 of our old friends, 2 special vehicles, the Black Rumpo and then the Manana with the corpse in the trunk. We got to say goodbye to a 3rd one. So this secure car here is bulletproof, which I like. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but anyway, I'm not getting rid of it right now. But we are going to say goodbye to the teal-colored Kuruma, and this is very difficult for me to let go of because if you recall, this uniquely colored Kuruma is one that we got in the very first mission of the game and the very first video of this series. So this Kuruma has been our friend for, I don't know, 82 episodes now. And all good things must come to an end. And we're going to send this Kuruma out in a blaze of glory. So a slight time save is instead of going up the road into Phil's compound, you can hop your car over this ramp here. It's a grassy ramp. If you have a faster vehicle, then you don't necessarily flip there. You could just drive right into the blue marker. So I can't stand to see that Kuruma blow up. It just disappears as soon as we hop into the blue marker. Okay, and now I'm just showing you that you can grab all kinds of weapons here. So instead of rockets here, it's an Uzi. The other 2 weapons are the same, the M16 and the shotgun. The rockets, as we saw before, are on top of the container, and on top of the neighboring container are Molotovs. So you can get lots of weapons for free to help you with this mission. Honestly, the mission's not that hard, but anyway, thanks Rockstar for the weapons. And so I think we'll take these guys out same way as we did before with the rockets. I might miss one, we'll see. And then just off the container to our right on ground level is armor, in case you did take a lot of damage during this mission. So I think I'll show you the armor here. Yeah, right there on the ground. Okay, and then I wanted to know what happens if Phil dies, and so I'm just going to shoot him. Looks like three bullets from the pistol are enough to take Phil out, and yeah, mission fail unsurprisingly. All right, and here I think we're going to show you that this the tank is locked. Am I going to show you that? I think so. Yeah, so the tank is here only during this mission, and then not again until you finish the last story mission, but it's locked, and so you're not supposed to be able to get into it. Now, it is possible to push this thing because Claude has been lifting weights, And actually, if you manage to push it all the way to your garage and then shove it in the garage, then it becomes unlocked, which is pretty cool. So it is bulletproof, but not explosion proof, which is quite odd. So this is a unique vehicle because every other tank in the game is bulletproof and explosion proof, but it's a unique vehicle that's like underpowered. So it's odd. Okay, and so there I was just demonstrating that the particular barracks OL that spawns during this mission is bulletproof, which we saw at the start of this video. The kind of general barracks OL that spawns here is not bulletproof. So this special vehicle is one that I want, and so we're going to take it and bring it over to our garage. And here I'm just showing you that the gates do not open because we have not passed the mission yet. Okay, so taking this barracks OL back to our garage, and I'll share that the only way to get a tank without cheat codes or glitches is to complete the final story mission, but it turns out that it is possible to get into that tank using a glitch, which is one of my goals for this video. Okay, and here I'm going to show off that both of these vehicles are bulletproof. Okay, and then next clip, I wanted to see what happens. We're going to have a big jump cut here. What happens if I don't bother really kind of doing the mission? I just sort of hang out. Do the Colombians come after me, or do the Colombians come after Phil? That's the question. So here we're starting the mission again, and then I'm saving it, but I'm saving it there just because I didn't want to go through the work of getting the barracks OL repeatedly. So we've got the barracks OL. We've lost 3 different unique vehicles and traded them in for that big barracks OL that's bulletproof. And now we're going to see what happens. We're going to see who the Colombians are really interested in. Is it me or is it Phil? And the answer, it turns out, is it depends. Here I'm demonstrating that you can start the cutscene in a car, and then you'll automatically get out and then jog over to Phil. Okay, so if I'm in a vehicle, the Colombians seem to not know that I exist, which is kind of hurtful. You know, I've got some self-esteem issues, so it'd be nice to be acknowledged by these fellas. Yeah, I'm just getting shoved, unceremoniously shoved. And I'm in the vehicle, and I think I'm close enough to the Colombians on foot that they should get out and, you know, like have some interest in shooting my car. Then once I get close to them on foot, then they wake up. So they're generally interested in Phil if I'm in a car, but if I'm not in a car, then I guess they're interested in both Phil and in me. Maybe whoever's closer. Not sure, but Phil is an absolute animal, taking these guys out just one at a time with the M16. All right, and then next thing I wondered was what would happen if I just bail on the compound. So there's still a few of the Colombians left to kill. I'm going to take out these 2 just to make sure that I don't die as I drive away from the scene of the crime. And so I didn't drive all the way south in this island. I think I stopped right around the middle, just south of Belleville Park here on the right. And the fact that I hadn't failed the mission yet had me pretty convinced that you couldn't fail for abandoning the fight. So I didn't complete this attempt. Here I'm showing you that the barracks OL during the mission is locked. This is the bulletproof one. And it only becomes unlocked after the mission, whether you pass or fail. Okay, so here, surprisingly, I'm in the tank, and I'll describe the details of how I got in the tank later in this video, but notice that the tank blew up because it's not explosion proof, but it still causes just about any other vehicle to blow up with any kind of contact. The other vehicle will blow up, and then that will cause the tank to blow up. So here, big cut, where I've passed the mission and mysteriously gotten into this locked tank somehow. Again, details are coming, but I'm showing you a very scary drive because if I hit any of the other vehicles in the game, then my tank blows up because the other vehicle blows up. So here I'm desperately trying not to make contact with any other vehicle, and I'm trying to bring this tank over to the import-export crane in Portland, Portland docks specifically. And here I should have gone on the other side. I should have waited for this sports car to get past me. It's really hard to avoid contact because I'm in first person, and so the other vehicle drove a little bit into my lane, and I hit him, and everybody blew up. Here, more stuff is blowing up. Bad things are happening, gang. Very bad things are happening. As far as I know, oh, here, I got in the tank and it just kind of glitched through the ground. Apparently, blowing up this police car next to me was not the right call. Who knew? Um, and then again, my tank is going to blow up here on the compound itself. Yeah, so it turns out if you don't glitch into this locked tank here in this mission, then you have no opportunities to get another tank until you have completed the final story mission of the game. And I really want this tank. So here's my final attempt. My challenge is to get into the locked tank and then use that tank to take out the Colombian. So we're going to show you this whole thing, no fast forward, no cuts. I learned this technique that I'm going to show off here in this clip from a YouTuber called Crazy for Games. That's the digit 4 and no spaces. So it's crazy, then the digit 4, then games. Crazy for Games. I've actually seen a bunch of their videos before I learned about this technique from them in this for the purposes of making this video. They've got tons of great GTA content, and in particular, I've watched a couple of their series beating some of the GTA games with a permanent maximum wanted level. Good stuff. So check out their channel. I have linked their video about this tank in the description below. So the main idea is that even though the tank is locked, you can block both doors of the tank and then teleport into the tank, kind of like you could teleport into a boat as long as you're close enough. So that's the plan. So we're going to push this tank out a little bit away from the wall and expose the two doors, and then I'm going to put a vehicle, another vehicle, on either side of the tank, blocking both of the doors. And so you'll see me block one door here, and then I got to go for a run and then go pick up another vehicle for blocking the other door. And while we do this, I will read from the wiki just about this mission. The Colombian cartel carry weapons that aren't normally in their arsenal, including Molotov cocktails, grenades, and pump-action shotguns. Then there's something here that might have happened in one of my attempts, which I didn't put in this video. It says, if the player fends off all the Colombian cartel using a tank cannon, which is what I'm essentially going to do here, a mysterious shotgun shot will be heard and Phil will die, leading to the failure of the mission. So that might have happened in one of my other attempts. Like I said, I didn't edit it in, but I did use the tank and I blew everybody up. I guess that's just what happened, but I didn't pay attention to the sound. I don't know. It just said Phil died. I assumed that one of the two Colombians on foot killed Phil. Okay, so here I'm carefully avoiding the blue marker and avoiding smacking into that barracks OLs because I don't want it to catch on fire. And I don't want to get in the blue marker because I need to hop out of this tank and then quickly run away to leave the tank door open. And I think that if I go in the blue marker, I will I got pulled out of the tank, and then I think the tank door will close during the cutscene. So here's the cutscene, and now we're going to head back to my beautiful unlocked. Well, it's not unlocked. It's just got an open door, which is the only reason I can get back into it now. And then we're going to take out the 3 Colombian cartel cruisers with the rockets from the tank. Oh, so satisfying. That's awesome. Okay, and then something else from the wiki. It says the Rhino in this mission is not explosion proof. Saving it in a garage, however, will make it explosion proof like any other vehicle. So here I just spun the turret around and took out the two guys, the 2 Colombians behind me. And that's it. Mission passed. Notice again, I ran away from the tank to keep that the tank door open. And yeah, and so I wish I would have remembered this thing from the wiki, because I think it would have been better for me to throw the tank into that garage and then therefore it becomes explosion proof and then drive it over to the crane, the import-export crane over in Portland Docks. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. So now, again, uncut and not fast forwarded, is the most stressful drive I've ever taken in all of my time in any GTA game, not just GTA 3, any GTA game, because I'm trying to get this thing all the way over to the Portland Docks, to that crane, and I decided not to take the tunnel, even though I think it's shorter, but because of the vision issues you have in the tunnel, and it's kind of narrow in a bunch of parts. So here, again, I need to avoid any contact with these fools who like turn in front of me, turning left in front of a tank. Who would do that? Okay, continuing to read from the wiki while I narrowly avert disaster after disaster with all these vehicles around me. The mission's name might be a pun on Phil's missing arm. So again, the mission is called Arms Shortage, as this is the first time Claude encounters Phil, and Phil explains why he lost his arm. So yes, Phil has an arm shortage, and also arms like bullets and weaponry and guns and stuff is a focus of the story of this particular mission. Okay, because we've still got a long, slow drive coming, let's read a little bit more from the wiki, but this time we'll read about Phil Cassidy. It says he's a character, he's a main character in Vice City and Vice City Stories, and a minor character in GTA 3 and Liberty City Stories. He's also briefly mentioned in Manhunt. And in terms of the voice actor in GTA 3, it's Hunter Platten, and we've heard that name before because Hunter was the voice of Curly Bob. That was the snitch, remember, that we drove in a taxi over to Portland Docks. And Hunter also did the voice of Chico, who was Maria's drug dealer in that mission. I think it was called Chaperone. So there you go, Hunter Platten. Three different characters here in GTA 3. I'm trying to use my turn signal to get these guys to let me merge in. It says also that Hunter was the voice of the Psycho in Vice City. I think I read that before, and also the voice of Ranfa Lee in San Andreas, and then also did some voices in Manhunt and Midnight Club 2, two other Rockstar titles. Oh my goodness, that was so close. Even though I know this is going to succeed, I'm still getting like my heart rate elevated here watching it over again. Phil Cassidy is voiced by Gary Busey in Vice City and Vice City Stories, and says it's unknown who voiced this character in Liberty City Stories. Okay, according to his interview on MeTV, Phil was part of the Army Catering Corps and received a dishonorable discharge. Then there's a lot of background about Phil in Vice City and Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories. We're not going to read any of that stuff there. And then this is Phil's only appearance in this game here. And then it says something. It says in all of Phil's appearances, he appears as a manic heavy artillery arms dealer selling the protagonist military-grade weaponry such as grenades, rocket launchers, and miniguns. Pretty cool. Okay, finally, we are here, and we're going to let this vehicle get picked up and exported, the last one, and all three import-export lists. And I'm going to show you the stats menu here because I want you to see that it's going to go up in kind of a striking way. So currently, the percentage completed is 83. So let's just recall that in this game, there are 154 objective points, and the percentage completed stat is just the percentage of those 154 objective points that the player has already gotten credit for, rounded down to the nearest whole number. The 7 required vehicles for the crane give 1 objective point each, and we've already dropped off 6 of them. But unlike the other 2 import-export garages, so here I'm showing you that it's still at 83%, which is kind of weird because we already dropped off the tank. Turns out you don't get credit until you see the icon spawns at the yellow striped area. I'll show you the stats one more time and we'll see that 83 will finally jump. Okay, so it says here, unlike the other 2 import-export garages, you don't get any of your 7 objective points for this particular crane drop-off thing. So now we're at 88, big jump from 83, until you've dropped off all 7 of the vehicles. So even though we had dropped off 6 of them before, we didn't get those 6 points given to us until we got the tank. And the tank's point plus the other 6 points gave us seven brand new objective points added to our total. Here I'm just showing you all the vehicles that you can get. And so if you take the 7 objective points we just got credit for and divide it by the 154 total objective points, you get about 4.5%, which is how we went from 83% to 88%. Again, rounded down, so I don't know exactly what the true numbers were. Okay, so in our next video, we're going to reload the save state you just saw me make. We're going to start right here, but there is still something I need to show off in this video, which is why there's still a couple of minutes left here. All right, so there you go. We got 4.5% added to our total. We also didn't get the $1,500 that we would typically get when you drop off an import-export vehicle, but we did complete that list, the crane list, and we just got $200,000 added to our wallet, which is pretty awesome. And again, you can freely spawn any of the 7 vehicles that we dropped off there now that that list is complete. So that's the police car, the enforcer, the FBI car, the Rhino, which is the tank, the barracks OL, and the ambulance, and then finally the fire truck. Okay, so a couple of things to show off. So we have passed arms shortage, and now for the first time, that gate opens up for us when we're in a vehicle, any vehicle, and it also opens up for us when we're on foot. That's what we're showing off here. The barracks OL is unlocked again as usual, but it is not bulletproof. Only the OL from the mission was bulletproof. And we do have one of those sitting in our garage now. Also point out that there's no tank here. Doesn't show up until we finish the final story mission of the game. And then again, you can buy as many sets of these three weapons as you'd like at any time during the rest of the game. So that is about all there is to say about arms shortage. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.